Hey, welcome to Music Firsthand.
We know exactly what we're doing here, and thank you for joining us.
No training wheels, cut the line. Thank you so much for joining us, Facebook World, and everybody here at Austin Eastsiders. Give yourself another round of applause for showing up and showing out. Very special thing tonight. We have a new co-host, Claude Ramey. Everybody, give it up.
I don't know whether to look at y'all or the camera. I'm going to look at y'all. How about that? Yeah. The whole world.
Stay personable while we're streaming on live Facebook. We've got a very exciting show here tonight, but we do also have a couple of things to go. We would like you to, if you have not already, like and share all the Music Firsthand stuff on Facebook, Instagram. We have a Patreon you can join and become a member of our club and come support us. It is really amazing what Chris and the team here at Music Firsthand do by bringing you local music, local comedians. It's a good time, so be sure to check all that stuff out. But before we do anything else, would you like to introduce our musical guest, Claude?
I would love to introduce our musical guest. Our musical guest is Ben Balmer, and
give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause.
Life on the highway takes a toll on me that I cannot explain. Drive 1,000 miles, then I lay down, get up and do it again. There's a picture of a young girl in my rearview mirror, but I ain't looking back. I'm thinking to myself, goddamn, there ain't many women, ain't too many women like that. But when the lights in my rear view disappear and my headlights are the only thing I know, how I would wish that I had that one girl near. But I am married to, I am married to, I am married to, I am married to the road. I am married to the road. The road signs know my stories and they know where I am going better than and they'll be here when I'm gone to guide the weary travelers that pass by. Well, the yellow line is fading like a station on the AM radio. But I'm thinking about Austin and why it is that I had to go. But when the lights in my rear view disappear and my headlights are the only thing I know, how I would wish that I had that one girl near. But I am married to, I am married to, I am married to, I am married to the road. I am married to the road. I am married to the road. Thank you.
All right, Austin East Siders, keeping it going for Ben Balmer. This is awesome. This is a very packed house. Facebook, you can't see because you were antisocial, didn't come out and hang out.
Good looking, too.
Yeah, I know, right? We got a pretty old crowd.
We prefer y'all over the Facebook people, I'll just be honest.
We're saying that right now. Yeah. If you, on Facebook, though, do want to ask some questions, please do type away. We'd love to answer them. You want to talk a little bit about... you were born in Detroit, right?
I was born in the Detroit area of Michigan. I was in Ypsilanti. I grew up in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and that's a lot harder for people to understand, I think. You know, when you're like, oh, I'm from Ypsilanti, Michigan. They're like,
What?
Detroit area of Michigan, southeast Michigan, yeah. Ypsi, that's right.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah.
We got fans. She is also like, it sucks. So now I just say it's Ipsy. I'm like, it sounds cuter. It sounds like an online website.
No, Ypsi's a great town. And I grew up in Ypsilanti for the most part, and then we moved to Ann Arbor when I was in high school.
Yeah. How did you get to Austin?
I moved here about 10 years ago after deciding to play music for a living, or at least try. And I heard that Austin was a cool town, so I traveled around the country for a while just playing on the street for enough money to get to the next spot. And then I found Austin, and I figured I'd stay here until I didn't like it anymore, and I'm still here. Yeah. So.
Well, we'll work on that now.
We're so happy to have you, but don't tell anyone else.
Yes.
Right,
okay?
yeah, I know.
No more. No more riding friends home. I guess what's the biggest difference about Austin that you have music experience in comparison to other cities you lived in?
Well, playing full-time, I'm on the road quite a bit. And I'm on the road about 6 months out of the year a lot of the times. And I play a lot in music-centric cities, a lot like Nashville and Los Angeles and stuff. And I think that Austin has more of a community of musicians where everybody's kind of on the same team, whereas when you go to these other spots, a lot of times everybody's kind of scrambling for the gigs, and nobody's really your friend. Sorry,
One's a rat
Nashville.
race. The other one's like a lovable reality show where everyone's nice to each
Yeah, well,
other at the
you know,
end.
gigs are currency in this town. You know, you help your friends out, and they help you out, and then there's a lot more people, I think, paying their bills in this town, and a lot less millionaires. You know,
Right.
Which I would take.
We'll take, bills paid, no one's complaining.
Yeah.
You just did a show with Jeff Plankenhorn, right? Who's
Yeah,
a friend
yeah,
of the show.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if he talked anything about Music Firsthand, if you told him you were coming, because when we had him on, we had a little kid guest host. I think it was like Luis's first show. We had a little kid guest host, and the little kid savagely asked him, what's it like to be sort of famous? And he took it like a champ, and he was like, well, sweet child. And it's one of my favorite Music Firsthand moments.
I love children.
Man, that's so funny.
It was so good.
I bet that hurts Plank more too, for like, cause that's a compliment to me, you know.
Right, like, sort of famous.
But Plank has played with so many, like, as a sideman, he's played with so many like huge artists, especially in town. You know, like, you know, it's like if you ask Ray Wiley's guitar player, what's it like to be sort of famous? It's sort of it might have more barbs than.
Well, no. What is the best part about I guess like it's an awesome city to collaborate in, but like, who are your favorite collaborations you've worked with so far in Austin?
I actually don't really like to write music with people.
He's
yeah,
like, no.
I don't really play well with others. I end up. I end up. I'm so particular in the way that I write a song. I'll end up red marking all the other people's ideas, and it's not very easy to work with me. And that's just the truth. I do have. There's a person in Canada who I really like to work with a lot, and she's because we both have the same kind of sense of humor and same kind of writing style, and we're okay with like working on something for a few months. Because I think that's another thing. A lot of times people will go and do these songwriting games in town, and they'll do, like write a song a week, and that's like a special place of hell for me, because it's such a process to write one song for me, and it's so much editing, and a week is just not enough.
Is it like a perfectionist thing, or just like a need to? Do you feel like you're working until the product is done, or you're working until it's like? I don't know. I'm trying to articulate that correctly. Like, do you see it before it's finished, or does it come to you like?
I know how I want it to end. You know.
Yeah,
I know how it's gonna sound. I'm sure it's just the same with jokes. You know, you guys. You know, like you're working on all sorts of tweaking, and then all of a sudden, when you put a pause in one spot, it makes it funny. You know, and it makes it work. And it's the same thing with songs. It's like all of a sudden, you know, you put one. You lose one simile and make it a metaphor, and then all of a sudden it becomes a good song. Mm-hmm. And so.
When did you start writing songs? Like, when did you figure that out?
When I was in high school, I started performing when I was in high school and in middle school. But
but yeah, I started performing and writing with a band in high school.
On your bio, it said that you took up harmonica when you were 13. Was that your first musical instrument, the harmonica?
It was, yeah. I got caught smoking weed for the very first time. And, yeah.
What? We've never heard of that.
I don't even know what.
That's right.
Yeah.
We.
Yeah, I got caught smoking weed for the very first time, and it really was my very first time. And my dad's the president of a drug treatment center in Michigan, and he.
How many people are they treating for weed, though?
Oh no, it's not like, I mean, as I've grown older,
Oh,
it's
he's
just
got the
as I've
shapes,
grown
he
older,
needs
I've
his weed.
realized, he doesn't care about that. But yeah, so all of my friends got like a week or something of grounding. I think one of my friends, like his mom stopped buying him cigarettes. We were like 13. It was just like there were different punishments.
Woo,
but
Ipsy.
I got grounded. Yeah, right. I got grounded to my room for a month, and I learned how to play the harmonica while I could not leave my room except to use the bathroom and eat dinner with the family.
Like in true blues fashion, you were
Right,
like in your cell.
So
writing
that's right,
music.
folks. Thanks to marijuana, I now play music for a living.
The gateway drug.
Remember that, kids.
I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of musicians' stories started that way. Maybe not like spending a month in their room with a harmonica, but definitely with weed.
Well, you were talking about like, so like when you write jokes, and I'm sitting here thinking like most of my productivity is just kind of like me high, like
You're like
on my couch, like what if?
hashtag hits joint. Yeah.
Hi, I'm the
the more
Holy
that
Spirit.
But the more that you say something, it always, it ends up polishing
Yeah.
all by itself, right? I mean, I have so much respect. I got to play the Fringe Festival in Edinburgh, where we were the house band for a whole bunch of stand-up
Fringe
comedians.
Festival?
Yeah, the Fringe
Okay, I
Festival.
heard French Festival.
Oh,
at
the
first.
Fringe Festival in
Fringe
Edinburgh.
Festival.
That sounded.
Yeah, but we were there for a month, and we got to be the house band, sort of like a budget version of the Roots for like this variety show, and just seeing what comedians do on a regular basis, it was pretty eye-opening. You guys, I will never do what you guys do. That's for sure.
It's a lot of procrastinating and sleeping.
Yeah, it's.
That's it.
Little peek
Also, I
behind the curtain.
patented that
Yeah.
word. Nobody can have procrastinate. That's mine.
Okay.
Ask my iPhone dictionary because I tried to add it 3 times and the bitch keeps trying to no. Sorry about that. Your personal connection with your music, is it like your muse? Is it like your outlet? Is it your sort of like alter ego, I guess? Like I feel like a lot of the musicians we get through here, they have very different reasons for why they make music.
I think it's a balance for me between like being cathartic and working through difficult portions of my life and writing songs that I think should be written.
I like that. You're like, I see the product I want in my head. I'll just make it for the world because
well, and
they owe it
like
to me.
yeah, I think it's halfway true stories and halfway storytelling, and sometimes I just want a story to be written that I haven't heard yet, and so I have to do it, or I have to wait for someone else to do it.
That seems to be like, there's a lot of people, like in film right now, people are like making opportunities for themselves, like trying to sort of put things into existence. Like, what's that? Like, I made a vision board. Like, you cut out shit from a magazine.
That's
Stephanie.
called a collage. Yeah.
Yes, it's a collage, and we all made them in 3rd grade. And I appreciate you using decoupage. But like, how important is it to you? No shade on vision boards. I totally have one. It's not. I mean, like, I'm acting like my frameless magazine cutouts on my wall are like less. Okay.
No, that's art.
It was. How I guess, like, do you feel that is important to you to like express your music? Tour, like you tour a lot, or you traveled a bunch, like your bio is you've been all over the place. Like, has it changed your like the voice or the structure, the need for your music, like in your travels and throughout your existence as a solo artist?
You mean, has like my music changed? Or?
Yeah, like I mean, like not obviously it's changed, but like how do you think it's developed, like with your personal connection with it over the years?
So far, I think the music has been getting better, and that's been the most important thing. And if I started going in the other direction, I would start to worry, I guess. But so far, I've been more pleased with the music, although it's taken more work. That's what I've noticed. It's like I end up having to work harder for
Ain't that
better
a bitch?
music.
Yeah, I hate that.
So yeah, you'd think that if you get better, you can spend less time on it, but I think it's been kind of the opposite, that I just end up having to spend more time on it. But the experience
is there like a balance though? Like, I mean, like you're a talented vocalist, like playing the guitar is not necessarily like a God-given talent, but like it's something that inclination-wise, you have to be like, how much of a balance do you think that is to just be like super dedicated hard worker and then also, I mean, because there's like people like Katy Perry still making music and
Yeah. Well, I'm a dedicated songwriter, but I'm not really as dedicated of a musician as I am on the songwriting side. I have a band that are all much better musicians than me, and I'm glad that they don't write as many songs as I do. Because if they did, I'm sure their bands would be better than mine. But I feel, but my my ego is satiated with the songwriting role of it. So.
It's weird. Almost every single one of our artists is like, well, this person I'm collaborating with is so much better than me. There's so much. It's this weird thing. Like everybody here, you're right. It's like it is a community of people that continually supports each other and like shows up to each other's shows. Just gives me
and I don't mean
feelies.
I don't mean it self-deprecating either. I mean,
No. I don't think anybody does. Like it's all in admiration.
Yeah.
It's like I feel that.
Yeah. Like I said, I can, I write the songs. I can talk shit because of that, but the people who play fiddle and drums and bass in my band and stuff can play circles around me. So, and that's the way it should be, I think. You
want like the most support.
Yeah.
Do you want to play us another song?
Sure.
All right, Austin Eastsiders, give it up for Ben Balmer.
She ran that path most every single day. The salt air blowing through her hair, so much a breeze would linger there, despite her finding refuge in a room. Her mother laid her shoes out by the door, and with each new morn she left them there, preferring that her feet were bare, won't compromise the grass between her toes. Well, keep running, girl, know what you want. Well, keep going, girl, take what you want. Well, her name was kept on every caller's lips. They whispered it with candles lit, folded hands and coffer gifts, but God would never tell her what to do. But her loving gaze belonged to none but one. At the apiary merchant stand, she watched her lover's careful hand scoop honey into waiting earthen jars. Well, keep running, girl, know what you want. Well, keep going, girl, take what you want. She made sure they needed honey twice a week. Bowls or hidden jars were spilled to roost so she could get them filled, to see those careful hands work once again. Lashed together hearts dismasted in the sea. Each moment that they spent alone, inside their minds they built a home where lips could meet away from damning eyes. But keep running, girl, know what you want. But keep going, girl, take what you want. Promise to a man of wealth and stock. She felt her soul was chattel bound, and courage grew behind her brow to love that woman with those careful hands. But the steps they took to hide were not enough, for the father of the man she's bound burst in a room where he had found impassioned limbs entangled on the floor. But keep running, girl, know what you want. Well, keep going, girl, take what you want. Well, he screamed and raged as she sprang to her feet. His callous hands had found her neck and squeezed with murderous intent as her lover crawled behind him on the floor. She clawed his face and fought to find a breath as those careful hands that made her sigh unsheathed a knife strapped to his thigh, drove it between the ribs guarding his heart, killed him dead. Well, keep running, girl, Well, keep going, girl. Take what you want.
Keep it
Thank
going,
you.
Austin Eastsiders, for Ben Balmer. Thank you. If you're just now joining us, Facebook, you can please ask your questions below. We'd love to answer them. We've had none so far, so thanks for nothing. Anyway, Ben,
Yes.
if you could be anything other than a musician, what would it be?
Like a polar bear? Like,
I love that you took
That's an
that
excellent
to
answer.
anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because remember when you were a
See,
kid,
you're
you're like,
an
I want to be a
artist.
horse.
You heard anything, and you're like, I can be anything.
I'm running with that.
Yeah.
Why a polar bear?
I don't know. I've just been reading about them lately, and they seem like they're pretty cool. They're super sneaky, and when they hunt, they put their white paws over their black nose in order to so they walk three-legged hunting seals, they're like, oh, a seal sees no black spot here.
That is the
Can't see
cutest
me,"
way to
right?
to
Right.
kill a seal.
Right.
Yeah.
Just conceal the snoot and a
smart.
sneak. That's the
Surprise.
that's in their training manual. All
Yeah.
right, little baby bears, you're gonna conceal the snoot and then you sneak.
Why can't they just evolve white noses, though? God, come on.
You just
Get it
solved that whole
together.
evolution
Yeah.
problem. Clearly not real. Polar bears have black noses.
I don't know. I
Jesus.
just broke this wide open.
I saw this.
But
really-
you have fun.
No, I just recently saw this really funny video of this lady who, I mean, it wouldn't have been funny had she died or anything, but she just got a small mauling by a polar bear which I think she
smalling.
absolutely
A smalling,
deserved because she climbed 2 fences in the zoo in order to get a really good picture of
What did she think the fence was supposed to be
Right,
doing?
I know, yeah. It's so of course, after the second fence, she has her, and he sneaks up probably with his little paw above his nose, and just scoops her in while and so, but his name was Binky, and so it was this really this elaborate this elaborate story where there's this narrator who's really intense and stuff, and he was like, the jaws of Binky are 8,000 pounds per square inch, and it just kept going back to Binky. And
Can you please write a song about that?
Yes. The mole
Yeah, no
of
problem.
Binky.
Oh, what's that? Is that like an ex who broke your heart? No, it's a woman who wandered into a polar bear enclosure.
Who looked at 2 fences and was like,
Yeah.
that's for the polar bear.
Oh,
Clearly
well,
not
it's
for
a
me.
beautiful song, I guess.
What did, I really am. Just want to know. She's like, oh, this just incredibly large brick thing. I just must step over it. It must just
Yeah.
be to help the polar bear to keep it safe.
Yeah.
From what? You, bitch. God, smalling. I'm also gonna take that word. Smalling.
Smalling? It was a smalling.
Just a smalling.
And the smalling of Binky. No, okay.
Oh yeah, the last image though was just Binky holding her shoe. Just it was so good.
He got his prize.
And Binky's like, Crocs, bitch, Crocs. That's why I ate your ass. Crocs. If you could take anything back, music career-wise, would you?
That's a good question. If I was to take anything back musically, I don't think so. I don't think, at least nothing strikes me. Because I mean, I don't know, even the bad gigs, you have to be able to do bad gigs, Just we all know you have to be able to show up and do a thankless gig sometimes. So even the bad decisions that I've made, I think, or at least the bad experiences that I've made that weren't necessarily bad decisions, I think ended up making me a better musician.
Yeah.
So.
What's that thing you got to do 100 times before you can decide you're bad at it?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're bad at it most of the time.
If all your gigs are bad gigs, then
You're not on this show. We all have talented musicians.
yeah, not you, but
No, it's all right.
USA Today describes your, and this is on your website. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
some gotcha journalist. USA Today describes your music as spacious, salty, and moving. How is your music salty? What does
Actually,
that mean
that was
to
my
you?
favorite part of that whole thing by far.
Because I love, I have my own answer to that,
yeah.
but you feel free to.
Most of my songs are about murder and heartbreak, and they're a little bit out of the box, and they're about some kind of strange subject matter, and I think that they just perhaps didn't have a better, and you know, if you're gonna use like a few words, salty kind of, you know, salty I think encompasses murder and heartbreak and strange. I think. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah.
Salty Strange is actually the title of. No, I'm sorry.
Well, in your recent song, you mentioned something about like the salty air through her hair. Am I getting that rhyme
Yeah,
right?
no, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Yeah, see, I listen. And I took 2 levels of improv. And but what I took salty to mean was sort of like unrefined, but in a good way.
I'll take
like,
that, yeah.
Sort of like poignant and raw.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
IDGAF.
Yes. I'm wrong. You're right. What you said is right.
Oh, okay. Feel free. You don't have to credit me. Just feel free to like.
Yeah,
well,
I think
felt
that's
my
a way
music
better
was-
answer.
We have a fan question
Yeah.
from Lucas. I'll ask the first one. You can ask the second one. I love a 2-parter.
All right.
Okay. Number 1. What was the first song you wrote and performed live?
At least the ones that I still play today, because I don't think I'll remember the stuff in high school, is a song I wrote called "The Dancer," which is on the first record, and I wrote that when I was 18 or 19, and I still play that today. I still stand by that one.
Hell yeah. Solidarity.
Yeah.
And Lucas's second question is, what is the deepest thought you can think about on the spot? Nope, on the spot.
Okay.
You got lucky with polar bears.
Yeah.
You
I know.
dumped that
Yeah,
one.
I don't think we're gonna get deeper.
I don't know. Like I just keep on thinking of like topics of discussion, like people driving parkways and parking driveways, and you know, chickpeas are neither chicks nor peas. Discuss. You know. I don't know. That's
What?
It's
It's like when I found out there was no blue raspberry. There's no blue raspberries. Candy companies are lying to you.
What?
They're all monsters. No blue raspberry.
It's true.
No chicks or peas.
How did that come about? Did a candy company have a bunch of blue dye, and we're like, we
Right.
have to unload this?
Well, we can't call
or
it
we're
blue
gonna have
dye
to count it as
40.
a loss. Yeah.
What's a fruit that's already blue? Raspberries?
Blue raspberry. Boom.
God damn it, Ted.
Modern science. Eat it up.
We actually have we're going to try this new thing out, so bear with us. But we're going to try a dating game because we found out after posting about Ben Balmer that a bunch of people really love him, that the fangirling was real. I mean that in all fan personing. The fan personing was real. And so we decided that we would like to give an opportunity for our Music Firsthand fans. Surprise, Claude's one of them. And we couldn't have Claude without the Claudia of Music Firsthand. So Claudia, do you want to come up here? We're going to talk a little bit about some dating game. Come take my seat. Now I really feel like a game show host. I'm stepping out from behind the podium now. I have legs. Yes, this way. I won't try to entrap you with this, so I'm going to do this. Here we go. Take a seat, sweet lady. We have prepared some questions here for our VIP bachelors and bachelorettes. We have VIP bachelorette number 1, Claudia Kulaga. Give it up for her, ladies and gentlemen. She is the lovely wife of our boss, Chris Petrovka, and she helps organize this every week and works really, really hard, so we thought we'd give her some camera time.
Pure
Plus,
coincidence.
she's so much she's so much prettier than me. I don't know why she's not on the camera. Okay. Then our second VIP of the night, bachelor number 2, is Claude Ramsey. Everybody, you've been seeing his face for the last 30 minutes, so give it up for him.
It's Ramey.
What did I say?
You said Ramsey.
Ramsey?
Happens all the time. Yeah.
I've had too many of these things. Okay,
I got
so
Romney once when I was a substitute.
Romney?
When I was a substitute teacher, it's like I wouldn't have to do this if I were a Romney. How dare you?
set that kid's backpack on fire. Like you want to see Romney.
You don't know what a Romney is.
A Romney. So, we've got some dating game questions here for the lovely bachelors and bachelorettes. We're going to ask Ben here to judge which one of them he would maybe let in the green room. I don't really know if the date's on the...
That's what you want to call it.
The date's not on the thing. Are you ready, Austin Eastsiders, to play the first ever Music Firsthand dating game? Yes, clap for yourselves. There's some horny cider drinkers. Okay, question number 1 for Bachelorette number 1. You want to join Ben's band. What instrument would you play?
Oh, I actually know how to play the flute, so I would start there. It's been a while, but I would start there.
All right.
Honestly, if I could have found a better innuendo instrument, I don't know if I could have done it. And she just answered that perfectly. It's been a while, but I'm good. Bachelor number 2.
I'm ready.
Yes. If you were in a band, if you were in the band with Ben, what instrument would you play?
Well, I actually played the saxophone in band, and so already band, it works. But I feel like there is a lack of saxophones in modern music. So I would play that. Fun fact: saxophones were invented to mimic violins tonally. So
What?
you can work with that what you will when I'm in your band. I assume this is official.
What? I need to know. Okay. Again, Claudia, VIP number 1. Take me on your first date with Ben.
So I'd start somewhere like an arcade game, kind of fun stuff, and then get some good casual food, maybe Torchy's tacos, followed by perhaps, if all goes well, perhaps some cocktails somewhere.
right.
But it depends how the pinball goes.
Depends if you let him win or not. Let him get that one.
The way you work a pinball machine is
It's been a
indicative.
while.
Yeah.
But Claude, describe your first date with Ben.
I would invite you to one of my shows. I've done that before.
Shameless
Look,
plug.
we're all hustling here. You know, you get it.
Side hustles. Okay, question number 3 for VIP number 1. Actually, we'll go backwards this time. We're switching it up.
Oh, boy.
We're modern. Okay. Bachelor number 2. What is the cutesy anniversary thing you and Ben would do every year?
Aw. We would get together and we would air a Facebook Live video where he sings to me and then I ask him questions.
Yes.
Because that's how we
Perfect.
met.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's thoughtful. That's on the spot.
A lot of
thought.
I'd hire all these people. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you're, oh my.
Every year, Ben shows up. Yeah, you guys again. Whatever. Can we do the thing? Are you going to do the sound check? Please. Okay. Claudia,
Every year.
what cutesy anniversary thing would you and Ben do every year?
I don't know. I guess smoke weed.
I don't think I've ever heard Claudia say smoke weed. Oh, this is the best. I love this segment
I'd rather be in
so
that
much.
relationship, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I'm like, cutesy anniversary. Ben's like, it's Thursday. Okay. I have to, that's how chicken shit my writing is. I have to be like, hello. Okay. I like this one as the final question. Describe your perfect Netflix and chill evening with Ben. Like, what are you watching? What are you munching on?
Okay.
I'll start with munching on. I guess cheese, wine is a good start. And then watching, I don't know, Shark Week. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Claude, what's your perfect Netflix and chill with Ben?
My favorite evening with Netflix is a combination of weed and Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've ever put thyme on popcorn. It's excellent. THYME, not like let it sit, whatever.
You just like stare at it in the microwave.
Yeah, no, not yeah.
You
not,
put a timer on, but
it's
you
not
don't
my
actually puff
concept,
up the
yeah.
popcorn.
But the actual spice, time. Put it on movie theater, butter, popcorn, smoke some weed, watch some Mystery Science Theater 3000. You
Do
will
not
never...
mix up the time with the weed and smoke the time and put the weed on
yeah.
the on.
Ooh, yeah. That could get. I don't know. Has anyone tried it? It might. I mean, someone had to be the first person to smoke weed and was like, "Hey, this is cool."
Someone was like, "Put it on popcorn."
Yeah. Don't try it at home, kids.
Ben, based on our Bachelor and Bachelorette's answer, which one of our VIPs would you let into your green room?
Okay, so we have a flute playing, weed smoking, cocktail drinking, Torchy's taco eating, wine and cheese.
Yeah.
Shark Week watching.
Shark Week
date,
is good.
Or time on popcorn. Go to your show. Also smoke weed. I'm blanking. I'm so sorry.
I don't remember what I said either.
Oh, it would be
so
and doing this again. I feel like Claude and I are just from the same worlds, so I think that I'm gonna have to say Claude.
And you saw it here first, ladies and gentlemen, at
Love
Music First
connection.
10. The first ever dating game. Oh, please don't trip. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for joining us, Claudia. Give a round of applause for the runner-up, Claudia Kulaga, ladies and gentlemen.
Also, I'm not married, so it's probably for the most.
So it's on the table. Well, this tiny yellow table is my favorite thing. Would you like to do a couple more songs for us?
I'd love that.
All right. Austin Sayers, keep it going for Ben Balmer, ladies and gentlemen.
So it's funny, I was saying the whole polar bear thing to you guys, and this is a song that I wrote for my niece, because she told me, she was like, Uncle Ben, why do you always write sad songs, or, they're all really sad. And so I was like, well, what should I write a song about? And she was like, I don't know, I'm like turning into animals and stuff. And so I wrote her a song about turning into a bear, and I didn't even think about this until we talked about it. And I was like, oh, I have a song about this. And I wrote this song about turning into a bear, but then I realized, like, if I turned into a bear, all of a sudden I would be estranged from my family and friends, and it would become like this tragic story. So it actually ended up, I think it was pretty good. I meant to write it as like a kid's song, but then I ended up really liking it. So
A bear before.
yeah, well, this was like, but I wasn't thinking polar bear too. I just literally been like reading a bunch about polar bear and Svalbard like over the past couple of days. So I don't know. So this is a song that I wrote for my niece called "Where Bear Stare," but it turned into more of a serious song. Sometimes my hands are paws, my fingers claws, my face this muzzle. I don't know how to blend or how to tell you that I'm trouble, but it ain't no time to cry when that whip it's biting, and it ain't no time to run when the audience is laughing, and it hurts me to be so far away, to be way back from my kind, way back from my kind. Oh, could you ever love a face like this? Please say I'm handsome. I don't know how to blend or how to tell you that I'm lonesome, but it ain't no time to cry when that whip it's biting, and it ain't no time to run when the audience is laughing, and it hurts me to be so far away, to be way back from my kind, yeah, way back from my kind. These days I'm on the run, I just can't seem to get my voice back. I don't know how to find the things you left before you gave there, but it ain't no time to cry when that whip it's biting, and it ain't no time to run when the audience is laughing, and it hurts me to be so far away, to be way back from my kind, way back from my kind. Well,
sometimes my hands are paws, my fingers claws, my face this muzzle. I don't know how to blend or how to tell you that I'm trouble, but it ain't no time to cry when that whip it's biting, and it ain't no time to run when the audience is laughing, and it hurts me to be so far away, to be way back from my kind, way back from my kind, yeah, way back from my kind, yeah, way back from my kind, yeah, way back from my kind, way back from my kind, way back from my kind, yeah, way back from my kind. Thank you. This is a song about where I grew up. I'm gonna go ahead and tune real quick because we're recording. You guys doing okay? Sure appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to some original music here in your town. Tip your bar staff too. I remember the two dimples in the small of her back as she walked away from me across those railroad tracks. Her boots did crunch and sink in the rocks around the wood, while mine just stayed rooted to the spot to which I stood. I tried to be a strong man, I tried to be the one she could go to with a problem. Tried to be her gun, she'd load me with an instinct, pull my hammer back, squeeze along my trigger, and I'd fire with a crack. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Summer knees, come back please. Take me home, Petoskey stones. Summer knees, help me please. If you can, Lake Michigan. Well, I think it was my fear, I guess it was my pain that pulled her even closer. I was meant to entertain each clever little notion in her ocean that I took. Spun around and finally found a little nest inside her brook, but the water kept on spinning, yeah, she left me all alone. Curled soaking buck beach made of smooth Petoskey stones. I built myself a home here made of better days and rum, and I forget about this tempest that leaves in my ears this summer knees, come back please. Take me home, Petoskey stones. Summer knees, help me please. If you can, Lake Michigan. They say a man who lost his hand can still feel his fingers move. It's a surprise every time when he goes to reach a tool. Does that mean she was a part of me, a limb just like my hand, severed from my body but my brain can't understand? I think that must be it, that must be the reason why I can't fix this with a hammer or cut it out with a knife. You can't mend a thing that's absent, you just wish that it was back while you buckle at your knees, thinking about railroad tracks. Whoa, 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 whoa. Summer knees, come back please. Take me home, Petoskey stones. Summer knees, help me please. If you can, Lake Michigan. Summer knees, oh come back please. Yeah, take me home, Petoskey stones. Summer knees, help me please. If you can, Lake Michigan.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Austin Eastsiders. That was Ben Balmer. Keep it. Can we get another round of applause for Ben Balmer? Thank you very much. We're going to ask a couple more questions before we actually have a private song beyond the Facebook. I'm looking right, the girl right behind the camera thinks I'm like staring at her. I'm looking right at you, Facebook. If you come out to our shows, you might get secret, extra little sprinkles of music if you come out and hang out and be social. So that's what's going to happen after this. Just a forewarning. Jealous. So, Ben, if you could score like a movie, any movie, or maybe like a director, if you have a famous favorite director or something, like who would you score for?
Oh, I don't know. That's such a good question, and I have no idea. I think like anything right now would be awesome.
Someone hire me to write us.
It's like I really at this point, like I had a song that was on an eHarmony commercial, that's still on an eHarmony commercial, and that was like I was stoked. So really like.
You didn't tell them you're married to the road.
No, it was a worth. Actually, it was a tune that Jeff Plankenhorn helped me write a little bit. So
it was what?
It was a tune that Jeff Plankenhorn helped me write, actually.
Oh.
And,
see, eHarmony, bringing friends together.
Yeah, bringing people together. Yeah, so really, I feel like that's such a momentous question to ask someone that just is like would be so stoked to be in the worst movie that is in theaters now.
That's fair.
So yeah.
It is a kind of daunting question. I always think about it because there's no way anyone can have absolutely this one film. Right. I should have written the music, write that person a letter.
Star Wars,
Lantern,
I could do so much better.
Green Lantern 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm looking at you, right? It'll be great.
The Ace Ventura soundtrack, garbage. Should have been mine. Do you want to take an opportunity to sort of plug your latest album? What do you have coming up for you?
Well, I got 2 full-length records, and we're finishing writing the 3rd one right now. You can find all that stuff at benbalmer.com. I play every Monday over at Craft Pride from 6 to 9 with the full band, and you can come and get some Eastsiders down there as well. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Friday I'm at Stanley's in Tyler, Texas, and Thursday I'm in Taylor at the Texas Beer Company, and I don't know. I'm all over the place. Come and say hello.
Tyler. All the frat boy cities. There's a Chad. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Chad.
There's probably Texas is big enough for a Chad. Texas.
Isn't there a Brad?
I'm sure. I'm gonna say yes.
It's Texas. There's a Brad.
What is on your bio? It says you grew up listening to your dad's blues albums. Blah blah blah. That's the correct answer. Yeah. What is the most uncool music that you non-ironically love?
Oh, I really like listening to a lot of Gregorian chants, and I will.
This is a good venue for it. It's very echo. If you want to try that out,
I will listen to some Romanian folk music all day long, and that's the stuff where sometimes people will get in the car and they're like, "You're gonna continue to listen to this?"
I feel like any region, though, it's folk music is gonna be there's just a craftsmanship to it.
Well, and I really like when I write, I am a collector of feels and when I hear a really cool country waltz or this galloping thing in 6/8, I want to write a song like that, so I'm like, oh, I don't have anything that has a feel like that. And when I listen to the Eastern European music, it's so difficult. It's all in time signatures. It's exciting, and the melodies are all strange. They're all in these I don't know. It's just they have a whole different scales, and
yeah,
so it's just
they don't write a lot of bubblegum pop in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, no, it's just cool listening to their harmonies. It's just so out of the box for music that I listen to or play. I'm still, one of these days I'm going to do some cool 7/8 stuff, but not yet because my hand doesn't listen to that.
Oh, I was like, we're going to do another question. Just kidding. I would like to take this moment to thank you so much, Ben Balmer, for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you guys for having me, really.
This
It's
was
been
so much fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us beta test our weird dating game. It was fun. I had a good time. I don't know.
I had a great time. And musicians, remember, never let a comedian borrow your microphone. But other than that, continue to work with comedians.
Yeah, I low-key really want to know the story about that, but you would have to be here to get it. Thank you so much, Facebook, for joining us. We're actually going to have another song, so keep yourself going, Austin Eastsiders. Give it up for yourself. We're going to have one more song by Ben Balmer. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you so much, Claude Ramey, for being here tonight, being my new co-host. I'm so excited. Don't forget to like, share, get on that Patreon, like that Instagram, share all that shit. You know what you're supposed to do. Thank you again to Austin Eastsiders for letting us be here again. An incredible venue. Cheers to you. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, give it up for Ben Balmer. Thank you, and good night, Facebook.